From the outside, Benson Boone seemed unstoppable, chart-topping hits, Grammy nominations, and a voice that captured a generation. But behind the stadium lights and viral fame, a very different story was unfolding. From a shocking decision to quit American Idol at the peak of his early success, to a Coachella performance that spiraled into a PR nightmare, Boone's career has been anything but predictable. And just when critics thought they had him figured out, he flipped the script again. So what really happened to Benson Boone? And why are fans divided between calling him Gen Z's next icon or just another viral flameout? Tonight, we dive into the rise, retreat, and resurgence of a young artist who's redefining what it means to take control in the chaos of pop stardom. Benson James Boone wasn't born into the limelight. He grew up far from the flashing cameras of Hollywood, in the quiet town of Monroe, Washington, just northeast of Seattle. One of 5 children in a close-knit family, his childhood was more about backyard games and school spirit than studio sessions and stage lights. In fact, Benson's early dreams had little to do with music. He was an athlete first, particularly passionate about diving, representing his high school with dedication. There were no vocal coaches or childhood recitals. Music for him was a private thing, something that lived in the background. That all changed in his senior year. What started as a friendly nudge from classmates ended up altering the course of his life. Benson agreed, almost reluctantly, to perform in a school talent show. What followed was nothing short of electric. The moment he opened his mouth, the room transformed. Students, teachers, even Benson himself were stunned by what they heard. It was as if a star had suddenly appeared where no one expected. That performance wasn't just a high school memory, it was the spark that ignited a journey into the unknown. Driven by that rush, Benson began experimenting with music outside the school gym. No professional studio, no label backing, just raw talent and a phone camera. He turned to TikTok, uploading clips of covers and original pieces. In a matter of weeks, his videos began gaining traction. The clean-cut teen with the haunting voice quickly stood out in the crowded world of viral content. Without a manager, without a plan, Benson was building a following. But as the likes piled up and the comments flooded in, one question became clear. Could this small-town newcomer make it in the big leagues, or would the pressure silence him before he truly began? In 2021, Benson Boone took what seemed like a logical next step for any rising music hopeful. He auditioned for season 19 of American Idol. The moment he stepped in front of judges Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and Luke Bryan, it was clear something special was unfolding. His emotive voice, raw stage presence, and effortless charm drew immediate praise. Audiences at home began rallying behind him. For many, Benson wasn't just another contestant, he was the breakout star to watch. He advanced through the early rounds with ease. Each performance revealed a new layer to his artistry, and his fan base grew with every passing episode. But then, just as the show was gearing up for its high-stakes live rounds, Benson vanished. No elimination, no final send-off. He simply withdrew. The sudden exit left viewers stunned and speculation running wild. Was there drama behind the scenes? A secret health issue? Something the producers weren't telling us? Weeks later, Benson quietly broke his silence, not on a stage or in a press release, but in a modest interview. His explanation? American Idol wasn't the right path. He admitted the show felt restrictive. He wanted space to grow, freedom to make music on his own terms. And while that level of self-awareness was unusual for a teenager just breaking into the industry, it spoke volumes. Benson wasn't chasing fame, he was chasing authenticity. To walk away from one of the biggest platforms in the world seemed reckless to some, but to others, it was a statement. He didn't want to be molded into the next radio-friendly star. He wanted to create, on his own time, in his own way. What looked like a missed opportunity might have actually been his smartest move yet, because stepping off the Idol stage was only the beginning of something far bigger. After walking away from American Idol, many expected Benson Boone to fade into the background, just another viral talent who couldn't handle the spotlight. But instead of disappearing, he did something far more unexpected. He leveled up. Behind the scenes, someone had been paying close attention. Dan Reynolds, the lead singer of Imagine Dragons. Known for recognizing unconventional talent, Reynolds saw something in Benson that others might have missed: potential beyond pop formulas. That instinct led to a defining moment in Benson's career. He was signed to Reynolds' own label, Night Street Records, under the powerhouse distribution of Warner Records. Now backed by industry heavyweights, Benson had the platform he needed. But more importantly, he had the freedom he craved. No manufactured image, no overproduced debut, just Benson, telling his story through music that reflected who he really was. That freedom came to life in late 2021 with the release of his debut single, Ghost Town. The song was haunting, vulnerable, and undeniably personal. Unlike the flashy tracks flooding the charts, Ghost Town felt stripped down and sincere, and that sincerity resonated. The track climbed the Billboard charts and garnered millions of streams across platforms. Fans connected with the lyrics, the melancholy melody, and the quiet confidence behind every note. It wasn't just a good song, it was a declaration of independence. In the eyes of the industry, Benson Boone had just pulled off something rare. He exited a career-making show, turned down instant fame, and then delivered a hit that felt more real than anything reality TV could offer. Ghost Town wasn't just a debut, it was a message. Benson Boone didn't need a golden ticket. He was building his own road to the top. In April 2025, Benson Boone arrived at Coachella, one of the most prestigious music stages in the world, ready to solidify his status as a generational artist. With millions of eyes on him and expectations sky high following the success of Beautiful Things, this was meant to be his coronation. But what happened next shocked fans, rattled critics, and ignited one of the most heated debates in recent pop memory. Benson took the stage in a glittering jumpsuit and fur-lined cape, clearly paying homage to his musical idol, Freddie Mercury. Then, mid-performance, the crowd gasped as Brian May, the legendary guitarist of Queen, made a rare surprise appearance, just months after recovering from a minor stroke. Together, they launched into a dramatic rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody. On paper, it was a dream collab, icon meets prodigy. But the live energy told a different story. The crowd's reaction? Muted. Awkward. Some even called it painfully silent. As if that wasn't enough, a mid-set sound glitch halted Benson's momentum. The music dropped out, and for a few tense seconds, all eyes were on him. But instead of panicking, Benson handled it with grace. He cracked a joke, smiled, and tried to recover the vibe. Unfortunately, the internet wasn't feeling generous. Within hours, social media lit up with hashtags like Boone Blunder and Coachella Cursed. Memes flooded Twitter, TikToks mocked the sound issues, and a viral Reddit thread questioned whether Benson was cracking under pressure. But Benson wasn't done. In a surprising twist, he responded on TikTok, singing into a banana, poking fun at the dead crowd, and poking fun at himself. The self-awareness struck a chord with fans, who praised him for not taking himself too seriously. Then, during the second weekend of Coachella, he returned to the same stage, but this time he brought a cardboard cutout of Brian May in a tongue-in-cheek nod to the previous week's drama. It was bold, it was ridiculous, and it worked. Despite the rocky debut, Benson's humility, humor, and ability to turn criticism into connection earned him a wave of support. For some, the Coachella performance was a misstep. For others, it was proof that Benson Boone wasn't just another pop star. He was a human being learning to survive in the unforgiving glare of fame. And love him or hate him, everyone was talking about him. Just when the Coachella buzz seemed to be fading, Benson Boone shifted the conversation entirely with a bold announcement. His debut full-length album, titled American Heart, would be released on June 20th, 2025. Instantly, the stakes were raised. No longer just the guy behind a viral hit or a flashy festival moment, Benson was about to show whether he had the depth and vision to create something lasting. And from everything we know, American Heart isn't just another album, it's a creative manifesto. Crafted during an intense 17-day writing sprint with longtime collaborator Jack LaFrance, the album marks a deliberate departure from Benson's pop beginnings. Instead, it leans heavily into Americana, 80s heartland rock, and gritty storytelling, a sonic evolution that shocked even his most devoted fans. Gone are the soft, minimal arrangements of Ghost Town. In their place, full band energy, analog textures, and lyrics that pat far deeper than anything he's released before. The early singles say it all. Tracks like Sorry I'm Here for Someone Else and the shimmering, retro-tinged mystical magical A Cheeky Homage to Olivia Newton-John's Physical hint at a bold new sonic palette. But it's the album's emotional core that has critics paying attention. On Young American Heart, Benson reportedly revisits a traumatic car accident from his teenage years. On Mama Song, he offers a raw, stripped-down tribute to his mother, his biggest supporter, and silent strength through it all. Other standout tracks include Mr. Electric Blue, which explores complicated father-son dynamics with startling vulnerability, and The Man in Me, a synth-infused closer that adds a surprising danceable edge to an otherwise soul-searching album. Each song paints a different side of Benson Boone, not just as a performer, but a person reckoning with success, expectation, and identity in real time. For many, American Heart feels like a make-or-break moment. It's a high-risk gamble, abandoning the safe formula of viral singles in favor of something deeper, messier, and far more personal. But for Benson, this isn't about playing it safe. It's about proving that he's not a one-hit wonder. He's an artist, a voice, a story, and a mission. With American Heart on the horizon, and Benson Boone stepping into a more mature artistic identity, the whispers behind the scenes have only grown louder. While fans eagerly await his next move, the industry rumor mill has been working overtime. Some insiders claim his new direction has caused tension with label execs, who expected another pop juggernaut. Others speculate that Benson's recent cryptic social media activity, reels with no captions, moody black and white snippets from recording sessions, may be part of a calculated rebrand or a sign of pressure boiling over. One particular rumor that gained traction on fan-run Discord servers alleges that Benson had quietly brought in uncredited ghostwriters to help shape parts of American Heart. Though nothing has been confirmed, it sparked debate about whether the album is a solo vision or a team effort disguised as individual genius. Meanwhile, some critics argue his shift from soft pop to gritty Americana feels too abrupt, perhaps an attempt to dodge being boxed in as a TikTok-made artist rather than a genuine musician. Still, Benson hasn't addressed the gossip directly. Instead, he's doubled down on his art. In recent weeks, he's been spotted staging guerrilla street performances in cities like Austin and Portland, accompanied by a small choir and an old upright piano. No flashy announcements, no promotions, just music, raw and live. Clips of these moments have gone viral, not because they were polished, but because they felt real. Fans described them as electric and emotional, with many saying they felt closer to the real Benson than ever before. And perhaps that's his strategy, to let the music answer the questions. Instead of battling rumors or clarifying narratives, he's embracing the ambiguity. In a world addicted to constant clarification, Benson Boone is leaning into mystery. He's not chasing headlines, he's crafting them. Whether these risky choices, sonically, strategically, and personally, will pay off remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, Benson Boone isn't just reacting to fame. He's actively reshaping what it means to survive and grow in it. Behind the award nominations, viral hits, and internet meltdowns, there's a side of Benson Boone that rarely makes headlines, a quieter, deeply personal core that's been central to his journey all along. While tabloids chase his every Coachella misstep and fan forums dissect his lyrics for hidden meanings, Benson has quietly been building a legacy that goes far beyond music charts. Away from the spotlight, Benson has become an unexpected force in grassroots philanthropy. He's made multiple low-profile visits to Seattle Children's Hospital, often unannounced, just to sing for patients or lend a quiet word of encouragement to families. He's also partnered with local nonprofits supporting youth mental health initiatives, using his platform to amplify underfunded causes without turning it into a press tour. These aren't PR moves, they're personal missions. Friends close to him say he sees music not just as performance, but as healing. And when he's not on stage or in the studio, he's in his comfort zone. A modest home studio packed with analog gear, vinyl records, and a thrifted couch he's reportedly slept on during marathon writing sessions. He's a studio monk, one collaborator joked. He'll disappear into his own world for days if a melody gets stuck in his head. That obsessive creativity, the refusal to cut corners or chase cheap hooks, has become his trademark. Those who've worked with him describe a young man who listens more than he speaks, and who still texts mentors like Dan Reynolds for advice before big releases. And while his rapid ascent could have easily made him jaded, Benson remains, as one producer put it, unshakably grounded. For fans, this side of Benson is the reason they stick around, not just for the hits, but for the humility. In a world obsessed with celebrity spectacle, Benson Boone reminds us that it's possible to chase dreams without losing your soul. He isn't just navigating fame, he's redefining what it means to survive it with grace. Behind the award nominations, viral hits, and internet meltdowns, there's a side of Benson Boone that rarely makes headlines, a quieter, deeply personal core that's been central to his journey all along. While tabloids chase his every Coachella misstep and fan forums dissect his lyrics for hidden meanings, Benson has quietly been building a legacy that goes far beyond music charts. Away from the spotlight, Benson has become an unexpected force in grassroots philanthropy. He's made multiple low-profile visits to Seattle Children's Hospital, often unannounced, just to sing for patients or lend a quiet word of encouragement to families. He's also partnered with local nonprofits, supporting youth mental health initiatives, using his platform to amplify underfunded causes without turning it into a press tour. These aren't PR moves, they're personal missions. Friends close to him say he sees music not just as performance, but as healing. And when he's not on stage or in the studio, he's in his comfort zone, a modest home studio packed with analog gear, vinyl records, and a thrifted couch he's reportedly slept on during marathon writing sessions. He's a studio monk, one collaborator joked. He'll disappear into his own world for days if a melody gets stuck in his head. That obsessive creativity, the refusal to cut corners or chase cheap hooks, has become his trademark. Those who've worked with him describe a young man who listens more than he speaks, and who still texts mentors like Dan Reynolds for advice before big releases. And while his rapid ascent could have easily made him jaded, Benson remains, as one producer put it, unshakably grounded. For fans, this side of Benson is the reason they stick around, not just for the hits, but for the humility. In a world obsessed with celebrity spectacle, Benson Boone reminds us that it's possible to chase dreams without losing your soul. He isn't just navigating fame, he's redefining what it means to survive it with grace. Now, all eyes are on June 20th, 2025. That's when American Heart drops. And with it, Benson Boone steps into what might be the most defining moment of his young career. The stakes couldn't be higher. He's not just releasing an album, he's setting the tone for the next decade of his artistry. If American Heart succeeds, it could catapult him into the ranks of true musical storytellers, not just viral sensations. But if it flops, critics will pounce, eager to brand him a one-hit wonder who couldn't carry the weight of his own potential. Major publications are already lining up reviews. Insiders whisper of a possible global tour, and industry analysts predict American Heart could either rival or be overshadowed by Olivia Rodrigo's July comeback release, setting up one of the year's most intense chart showdowns. Meanwhile, streaming platforms are preparing spotlight placements, and fans are bracing for what could be an emotional roller coaster of a record. But Benson isn't playing the game the way others do. He's not flooding TikTok with endless teasers. Instead, he's releasing cryptic postcards, handwritten lyrics, and intimate live acoustic snippets. It's a throwback strategy in a hyper-digital world, and it's working. The mystery is pulling listeners in. The question now isn't whether people will listen, it's whether they'll connect. Will this be a raw triumph or a beautiful risk? There's a line in one of the unreleased tracks that fans caught during a live stream. "If I give you all of me, will you stay when it gets quiet?" It's a haunting lyric that may as well be Benson's message to the world. He's laid his soul bare. Now it's up to the audience to decide what comes next. Whether American Heart is a commercial juggernaut or a slow-burning masterpiece, one thing is certain: Benson Boone isn't here to play it safe. He's here to leave a mark, And for better or worse, he's about to find out just how deep that mark can go. From a small-town high school stage to the towering lights of Coachella, Benson Boone's journey has been anything but predictable. He's defied expectations at every turn, quitting American Idol before his big break, turning down the safe path in favor of artistic independence, and rising to the top of the charts with a song that bared his soul. And even when controversy came knocking, through sound glitches, lukewarm crowds, or rumor-fueled speculation, Benson responded not with outrage, but with honesty, humor, and humility. Now, as he stands on the edge of his most ambitious release yet, the question isn't whether Benson Boone is talented. That much is undeniable. The real question is, can he endure? Can he evolve? And can he hold our attention in a world that forgets fast and forgives slowly? Because Benson isn't just releasing an album, he's making a statement about vulnerability, identity, and what it means to grow up in the glare of digital fame without losing yourself. Whether American Heart becomes a defining classic or a polarizing experiment, it will be remembered as the moment Benson Boone dared to be more than a trend. So, what do you think? Is Benson Boone the next great pop storyteller, or just another name in the endless scroll of viral fame? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into rising stars, hidden scandals, and the real stories behind the headlines, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this journey is just getting started.